Hello, I thought I'd make a video and talk a little bit about Donald Trump and the tape that came out from Hollywood Access. And I'm going to lower my TV and hope that my cat does not scream in the background. Okay, so there's a lot of talk going on everywhere about the Hollywood Access interview and what Donald Trump said some 11 years ago. And what stood out for me right away is not the words that Donald Trump was saying, not the language at all, because I'm just being honest. I grew up around enough boys and men that I knew there was at times that kind of locker room talk, shop talk, and just, guys watching football and checking out and construction and just guys talking. And so that doesn't shock me at all. The words don't shock me. I could name a bunch of. I don't think any of the women in my family. I don't think women are shocked by the words. I think what for me kind of has completed what I've been wondering about, trying to get my head around what the heck is going on with Donald Trump and how he got to this point where he's actually running for president, is I really still am going to stick by, I don't think he ever planned to actually be running for president. I don't think so. I think he was planning to sabotage his run, and he really did not think that many people would vote for him. And I think, again, each time he goes home to the Trump Tower, he's like face palming, going, is there anything I can do more outlandish to make these people say, enough, I'm done with you? Okay, he's got to play the part now. I said it before, he's a party puppet. He's got to play the part. How would he have known if this was going to be leaked? Well, probably didn't. But the fact that he didn't care what he was saying in the past with an open mic, and I don't care if a mic is wired or if it's open and you know it, somebody puts a mic on your lapel and it's pinned to you and you're having that kind of gutter chit chat going on, you gotta wonder, is it ever going to be used against me? And a man, even in his position then, being the head of all the beauty pageants and surrounded by so many beautiful women, and I mean, he surrounds himself with gorgeous women. And what that showed me more than anything, beyond the misogynistic talk and the predatory type feel to it, is that not only did he position himself in that conversation and the framework of the conversation, the way he positioned himself and continued on, and with no edit, with no filter, just speaking inappropriately, I think he may have done it knowing full well that that people would know what he said. And that is a scary kind of narcissistic. There's narcissism gets a really bad name. There's narcissism that is very necessary and useful to men and women that are really good at what they do. Being leaders, being successful people, you need a certain amount of self-confidence. You need a certain amount of, this is me, I'm taking care of me, selfish time, what some might call selfish, what I would call healthy time. You need to have a certain bit of, well, I'm going to see what works for me in this situation. Just it's worked into our human nature as survival of the fittest. That's what it is. So there's a certain amount of healthy narcissism that's really good in a president candidate and in anybody that leads in anything. But this is where you draw the line with narcissism, where a person continues to break every boundary and to continue to speak inappropriately. When a person's truly narcissistic, they, in a pathological way, they will talk inappropriate, whether you want to hear it or not. And they will talk in a grandiose, in a what I call a braggiosity way. And after a few times of listening to the Hollywood Access interview, what I came away with was, okay, so Donald was showing off in that situation. For some reason, he felt the need to position himself above the guys he was talking to and go further than maybe they had anticipated, and take it just one step further, push the limit. And that's where you get into you got to question the motive. And I just wrote an article where I was talking about when it comes to narcissism, when it comes to selfies, because now there's people that are like, well, if you take too many selfies, you're a narcissist. If you write too much poetry, post too much, you're a narcissist. No. Narcissism, a lot of research has been done on, is there really such a thing as narcissistic personality disorder? There is. It's extreme. It's on the end of the continuum like everything else. Everybody is a little bit narcissistic. Everybody's a little crazy. Everybody's a little inappropriate every now and again. But when a person is continually inappropriate, continually pushing the limits, continuing to be outlandish, you've got to look at the motive. What is that a turn on for them? Are they like saying, okay, I really got away with talking like I'm a big guy in front of those guys? Why did he feel the need to have to assert himself over those men and talk about his ability to force himself on any woman he wants? Why? And that's what I look at right away. I'm like, what's motivating that? And if I look back at the time period, he was 60 years old then. You might think like a midlife crisis or whatever, but he had just gotten married the year before, and his wife was pregnant with their first child, and it just doesn't make any sense. I've heard women talking about how, it's just shop talk, it's just, like boys will be boys. No. Women and men, there are many fathers out there and mothers that have spent a lot of time teaching our young men, and women too, that it's not okay to force yourself on anyone. Ever. If a woman says no, I don't care if both of you have your clothes off and it's been decided and you got the condom on and she's ready, whatever. If she says no, it's no. You stop. I don't care if you romanced her all night and you took her shopping and out to eat and to a movie and bought her jewelry and everything she wanted or whatever, and she led you on to believe you were going to have sex and you were almost to where you wanted to get to. If she says no, it's no. It's no. If you continue, it's right. It's the same thing with men. If a man says no, I don't care if he's been like winking at you all night, hey baby, snuggling up to you, I want you, I love you, and you're both on top of each other, and it's like hot and heavy, and you're both into each other, and suddenly he says, I've changed my mind. A woman cannot continue to try to seduce the man for the same reason that a man cannot continue to try to push himself on a woman. Was Donald talking vulgar and lewd? Some have said there's a lot of hip-hop lyrics that are just as offensive as what Donald said. I don't buy that. Because, again, it was the audience he was talking to on the Hollywood Access ban. It was how he positioned himself in his conversation that made the words all wrong. All wrong. And when you're running for president, you cannot be as impulsive as this man is. And I think what scared me more is the framework of the conversation and the positioning. And that's something that I'm very interested in, is group, how people adapt their behavior to different groups and change their position and front and become someone they're not. And the inability to really apologize without blaming someone else or making an excuse for it or becoming the victim while he's apologizing is really problematic for me. I've never heard him just say, I was wrong, it's wrong, I'm sorry. It just continues to snowball. And to bring up, well, this one did that and that one did this, and no. To say, well, I wasn't a choir boy, or the people that know me know I'm not like that. No, you're asking us to trust you and to know you by your history and what you're showing us now. And so if you want us to really know you, you're showing us who you are every time you get up there and you talk. Every time you do something cuckoo and outlandish. So I just really don't think Donald Trump wants to really be president. That's my takeaway. Is I think he'll continue to be outlandish. I think if he loses the debate tomorrow night, he'll say maybe the debate shouldn't have continued. It was all planned. It was, he'll be the victim. And I don't know, maybe he'll say the Hurricane Matthew knocked out so much power that there's tons of people that aren't able to see the debate, so they shouldn't continue the debate. Right? But the same thing could be said for there's tons of people that probably don't have this information, that haven't heard the tape because they don't have their power yet. So that works to his advantage. So you can't have it both ways. I guess I'm just really at a place where I don't want to have to defend anymore my choice to vote for the adult that's running for president. People are saying all kinds of stuff, like there isn't going to be an election this year, like this is just some big ploy to President Obama is going to run for a third term. The people are going to revolt against the election. I don't know what to believe, but I know that this is really messed up. Really messed up. When we were growing up, we had John Kennedy, we had Nixon, we had Johnson, we had Ford, we had Reagan, we had the Bushes, we had Clintons. I was thinking back to this. I remember watching President Nixon give his resignation speech and really being appalled at him. But then also I remember wanting to like him as a family man because it was the first president we had that had a wedding in the White House. And I'm sorry, I can't. I know I said in my last video, I don't care what you do with your sex life. That's not what I'm reacting to. It's the way he positioned himself and jollied for the upper hand with those guys to impress, and what he went through to impress them. The whole positioning, and when I say the framework of his conversation is that he could have just left it at oh yeah, I tried to go after her, but she was married. You know, it would have been enough. I am not the language. I don't find despicable, deplorable, horrible, and I'm not even gonna go there. And I do think that some of the GOPs that are coming out now are saying it's almost like a sanctimonious, you know, too much protesting. For me, I know that kind of talk goes on. Shop talk. I know that guys do talk that way. I know that women have a kind of talk they do too. And, you know, we all just have to be a little bit more authentic about that, adult about that. But when it comes to, do I want a man who's behaving that way? No. In the White House, no. And I guess what I mean is, he knew he had a mic on. And that is what speaks more than what he said, is that he knew full well he had a mic on. And somewhere in his mind, he must have known that he has done and said things that could be used against him, but he just keeps going forward thinking, I can get away with it. And I don't think he's a child molester. I don't think he's a predator that he assaults women or pushes himself on women, but I think he's incredibly naive to allow that, because in a court of law now, anybody that he has surrounded himself with, and there's a lot of beautiful women that he's had around him with the pageant, can say they were abused by him, and this could be used for court evidence. This would go to this, you know, the whole state of mind and his character and everything. And somebody wanted to say they worked for Donald Trump and then claim sexual harassment or assault or inappropriate behavior out of his own mouth. Admission. That can be used against him. So that's more what I'm looking at, is somebody like that is going to be talking to foreign leaders and world leaders and negotiating. That was a really bad move. And I'd be very scared if women stand by him, or if men stand by him. I think he should be dumped. And that's my final take on that, is that we should dump Trump. I'm still sticking with Hillary. I'm going to vote for the adult. And it doesn't, like I said, I don't care about their past. I don't care about their love. But the way he handled coming out of this, I'm not crazy about the way Hillary handled the whole testimony thing, but I think there's only so many times you could say you're sorry. You know, after a while, she stopped making excuses and saying, well, I turned in so many emails and everybody had another server, and eventually she just said it wasn't wise. I used poor judgment. I'm sorry. I guess if Donald Trump could just do that, I would maybe think of him differently. So, I know I have a lot of friends that are Trump supporters, and some of them have been talking to me about what they think about it, and I thought, well, I'll make a video and just tell you what I think, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. And if you are on my Facebook and you're continuing to support Trump and you're going to defend what he was doing, I keep trying to tell me that it was normal guy talk. You've just taken us back centuries, and if you're going to complain about increase in violence with terrorists and with war and with whatever you think President Obama is to blame for, then you also have to hold yourself accountable for the kind of violence that will continue with men talking this way. And we're trying to teach young men in a rape culture, it's not okay to keep going. It's not okay to push yourself on a woman. It's not okay to grab a woman. It's not okay. I'd love to hear some A-listers weigh in on, is it okay because you're a big star that you can just go grab any woman and do what you want? And they love it because they love you because you're a star? I'm going to tell you something. I love Prince. Love him. I wear something purple all the day, just every day, just to kind of like think about him. If Prince, and this would be such a far, but if he was alive, or when he was alive, as much as I love him, it wouldn't be okay for him to just grab at me. I don't think he would ever do that, but it wouldn't be okay. I wouldn't love him anymore. I'd kind of hate him. I'd kind of be like, lost your mind? Yeah, so it's all about consensual. Yeah, you can get this close to me, or you can, back away. I just don't think because you've reached star status or celebrity status that automatically means that because somebody loves you, your character, your music, your role that you play, that they're so starstruck that they let you do anything. I feel bad for women that have had to go on the casting couch. I feel bad for men that have had to be on a casting couch. I'm sure it still goes on. But I've never understood. I'll tell you, when I used to go to concerts through the 80s and 90s, you would see some women throwing their underwear at certain rock concerts. I always felt that was very offensive. I always thought, okay, just because you love this man and you're throwing your underwear up at him, I mean, I always felt bad for the guy. He doesn't want to draw underwear. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the whole Trump thing. We don't need that. I don't need that. And I actually said no to a get-together because I know it's going to be with a bunch of people that I haven't seen in years. I've known them on Facebook, but some of them we weren't very close growing up, and we reconnected on Facebook through other people, and they're voting for Trump. And I actually just said, okay, I want to get past January before I sit in a room with a bunch of people that are supporting Trump, because I can't support this. I can't be around. I don't agree to disagree. I stand up for what I believe in. And I said I will not vote for Donald Trump ever. And yet there are people that are still trying to convince me, well, it's just shop talk, it's just guy talk, it's just, it happened a long time ago, people should. No, don't try to persuade me. I said no. You're guilty of the same thing he's guilty of. Somebody's married, they don't want anything to do with you, and you're going to try to force yourself on them. No, it's not okay. We need to start respecting ourselves and each other. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.